We are going to be discussing limits in Apex DX. Limits are CSV files that can be imported into DX so that multiple different kinds of scope limit information can be analyzed both in the viewer and in exports. Limits can be created manually using a Excel editor or something similar, or they can be automatically created using our product Apex Gauge Map, which is a mesh-free sensor optimization and fatigue analysis tool. We would of course recommend that you use Gauge Map when creating limits, as this will give you the most accurate results and really improve the quality of data coming into the product. It is worth noting as well that these limits are available for use in a similar way in our Apex DS and DR data acquisition and real-time analysis product suite. To assign limits in Apex DX, simply go to the Assign Limits area and click here and select your limits file. I am going to click OK here, and this will prompt you to reprocess if you have not processed a file already. I will click yes, and that will take me through to the viewer. I've already set up a few plots in the viewer to demonstrate how these limits can be used. The first is here on a Campbell diagram, where of course we get our limit modes here. So here's our first bending, etc., right? Coming up through here. If I select one of these, you can see that it will highlight all of the points that are inside of that mode. So it's a good way to see where your mode boundaries are. Additionally, right now we have it color-coded to limit. So red is over limit, blue is 0% limit, yellow is somewhere in between. You can change that in the right-click settings and plot options under display modes here for limits. We do have a deep dive video on the Campbell diagram and all of the settings contained therein that goes into a little bit more detail about this specifically. The next place you can view your limits for each individual mode is here on the envelope and by extension the magnitude and magnitude envelope plots here in the form of these horizontal lines, which include a lower and an upper limit. The lower is the darker color and the upper matches the trace color exactly. Next, history information on the percent limit of each mode is available. To access this information, use the twirler next to the channel that you would like to plot and come down here to percent limits here, and you are able to drag and drop those plots and create history plots of the percent limits for each one of those. The final place that we will discuss the limits here is with the automatic response detection element. As you can see here, if I scroll over to the right, you can see here we have a percent limit for each one of the collected modes. I discussed a little bit in another video using these modes as intersections for the collections themselves. So here in my EO response detection, I have it set up to collect only points that lie along engine orders where they intersect with my modes. So I have checked this use limits modes, and I'm going to get 1 point for every mode that intersects with engine order 48. So now if I come back over here, I can select my channel name here, and then I can sort by percent limit here, 11, here we go. And as you can see, we have increasing limits for each one of our signals here with my channel name and percent limit. Additionally, we also have the mode name for each one of these collected points, along with a fitness value for each one of them as well, and a mode ID number. All of this is extremely useful when exported into a downstream CSV for further processing. If you have any other questions about limits, please feel free to give us a call. You can do that by submitting a ticket on our user site or sending us an email at info@apexturbine.com.